Alright guys, it's time to go through every single NFL team, grade their draft class. We have 32 teams to go through, so without further ado, here's every single grade of the 2024 NFL draft, every class. Let's go. And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the NFL. Of course, please like and subscribe if you guys enjoy the 2024 NFL Draft team grades. I'll be going through all 32 teams, giving them their rankings. Again, I will also say I will be going through the UDFA class as well. Again, skim through it. This is just a bunch of BS. But with that point is, again, some of these guys who, again, didn't get actually picked in the actual draft, I will be going through these other guys. And, again, the UDFA class, because, again, it is pretty interesting. Some of these guys actually will do something in the league. Maybe not a ton, but they'll at least do something. And that is all I got for this. Let's get started again with the Bills. Again, this is going to be a long video. Here is their draft class. And again, guys, kicking this thing off with the AFC East and the Buffalo Bills. Looking at, again, how their draft class, their draft went. Again, there are some disappointing picks. Obviously, you could argue, again, that Xavier Worthy trade down place. They could have taken him there. But considering you look at this Bills receiving core right now with Khalil Shakir being your #1 and Curtis Samuel also being there as a reliable guy. Not very deep as well. I don't know if that would have been the greatest support for them. And to be completely honest, guys, they needed a guy who could at least do some of what Gabe Davis did in terms of the explosive play. And that is what Keon Coleman brought them with his 32nd pick. 33rd pick. Yeah, this is definitely going to be he's going to have a lot of expectations. I'd be surprised if he did have a big rookie year, but you never know. Again, he has a lot of work to do, but Keon Coleman, I don't think is too bad of a pick for them, considering, again, he does do a lot of the stuff that they would have needed him to do, again, to replace a guy like Gabe Davis. Looking at some these other guys, though, Cole Bishop in the second round, I think is pretty good value. I mean, it's not the greatest. You're going to definitely have him, you probably want to have him start as a rookie again. He didn't show great athleticism there at Utah, but, I mean, we'll see what he can do. Dwayne Carter, I really like his defensive tackle. If you can provide some sort of pass rush, and also the fact that, again, he's a very good run supporter, will, again, help them out. Again, he just has some size limitations, which, again, we'll see how that works out. Ray Davis, running back at Kentucky, again, he's pretty loose with the football. Doesn't break too many tackles, but, again, should be a pretty good compliment in terms of power in some ways to James Cook. What is it called? Cedric Van Ranger. Very actually interesting player. He actually don't think allowed a sack for the past two, what is called last year as a starter. But at the same point, again, he doesn't have the same athleticism or, again, the length that some of these other centers have. That's why he dropped to the 5th round. But again, a lot of these 5th round picks. I mean, some of these other dudes, like, again, I don't think Javon Solomon or this, I can't pronounce his name. I'm sorry. Again, I've watched him play. But, yeah, I just don't know how to pronounce his name. Tyler Grable, again, he's okay. Again, didn't love him. Again, they didn't really throw the ball much. I didn't really get to see him much as a true pass protector, and he struggled to sustain run blocks. So, again, could be concerning there. But, I mean, as a depth guy, we'll see what can happen there. Daquan Hardy, cornerback for Penn State, he got burned a lot by, Marvin Harrison Jr. when they played. That's really the only concern I have for him. Outside of that, he should be okay. And then Travis Clayton, who was, again, just kind of swing here. Like, again, we'll see what he can do. Has potential, but, yeah. That's really all I got for this draft class, guys. It's kind of mid, to be completely honest. I'm going to give him a C+. No, I'll give him a C. They got a C. This draft is, it's not terrible, but, like, I mean, it's a lot of riding on Keon Coleman, that's for sure. I don't think they really did that great in this draft. Now on to the Miami Dolphins, guys, and yes, this draft was small, but I actually really liked what they did. First off, yeah, Chop Robinson, definitely the worst pick of their draft. Again, I don't think this is great for them. You look at him, yeah, he's basically supposed to kind of like fill in for Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips, who I would be surprised if they are able to play in at least the first 4 games of the season. But they did sign Shaq Barrett, so I mean, at least some relief there. But Chop Robinson, he's definitely not ready for the league, guys. He has some decent moves, I think, but again, when it comes down to it, there's not consistent with those. Yeah, very, very athletic, but the power is also not there. Chop Robinson, again, with also the production concerns too. I just don't love this pick to a team that, again, really just needs production out of him, which, again, he won't get. Patrick Paul out of Houston, again, I don't love him as a pass protector, but again, considering how fast the Dolphins throw the football, not too big of a deal. I think, again, good developmental pick, and again, considering Austin Jackson could be leaving. I know. Wait, did he sign a contract? I keep forgetting. Did he? Yeah, he did. Never mind. I was thinking, whatever. Let's say Teron Armstead. Patrick Paul is, again, he's a pretty solid run blocker. He's also, again, pretty lengthy as well. Again, could be big for them, again, in that outside zone scheme. Jalen Wright, I really do like. Again, they just want more speed at the running back position. Raheem Mostert, I'd be surprised if he's here next year. Again, you just get more speed there, and I'm not too mad about that pick. Mohamed Kamara, again, he's a guy who can actually get production as a rookie. Yes, he is not the most prolific in a lot of different ways, but again, he's still pretty good. Malik Washington, I love. He will be that dependable receiver that, again, Tyreek Hill gets tripled, and Jalen Waddle is not on the field. He'll be there to kind of, again, remove some of that burden, because again, he's a very solid player. Patrick McMorris, out of Cal, he's kind of slow, which I don't like for that secondary, but then again, if you have to put him in the dime look, not too bad. And Taj Washington, again, this is kind of a Hail Mary here, but I mean, he's pretty fast, so well, maybe get on the field, but my guess is he probably won't do much, but I mean, outside of that, I actually really like this draft class, outside of, again, that first pick, which will, again, bring it down, so probably around like a B, yeah, probably, no, B minus. Now on to the New York Jets. Again, this is actually a really good draft class, all things said. Yeah, there are some wasted picks in here. Really, there's only 2, but it's actually a really good group. Olu Fashanu, yeah, might not be a right now move for them, but let's be honest, guys. He should be at least decent in his second year starting. I'm just saying, at least in his second year. Oh my God. Either way.
Come on, Bogey, come on. Come on, sweetheart. Come on.
Malachi Corley, again, he's a guy who I don't love as a receiver. Again, I don't know. If they can use him right, he should be okay. But again, considering, again, he'll probably be like their third option. Not the worst guy to have in the world, but again, it's not, again, I don't think he'll be too dependable for Aaron Rodgers. Braylon Allen, again, the other running back, good depth there. Again, he can provide a little more power than Breece Hall doesn't always consistently have. But again, let's be honest, guys. He's not going to be their number 1 back. Jordan Travis, again, backup quarterback. They needed him. Again, if he doesn't snap his leg again, he should be good. Isaiah Davis, running back for South Dakota State. Very athletic, but kind of not the fastest, which is kind of weird. But yeah. This dude had this cornerback, not going to lie, guys, kind of a good story. But again, if you didn't know, he played in CFL. But outside of that, guys, I'm going to be honest, never seen him play. Jalen Key was the Mr. Irrelevant. I guess they got him too. In terms of UDFA, again, I'm not going to talk too much about this. But I mean, I like, again, they got Leonard Taylor, who I don't even know how he didn't get drafted. I mean, again, characters or stuff like that. Some other good linebackers here. They got a couple of those guys. Again, some of these guys will be on the practice squad. And I wouldn't be surprised if Leonard Taylor made the roster again if he can get his crap together. But that is all I got for the Jets, guys. I'm going to give them a B+. I really like this draft class. Rounded out the AFC East, we do have the New England Patriots, who, again, had a pretty decent amount of picks for, again, a team that really doesn't have much of a talented roster at all. And, again, you could argue they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league, but the talent they added, again, for considering what they are, is pretty decent. Drake May obviously was a very solid pick with the number 1 pick, with their first round pick. Again, I don't think he should start his rookie year, just again the fact that I don't think he'll be a great quarterback if he does do that. But again, they did address the receiver position in 2 spots. First, Jalen Polk, the wide receiver out of Washington. He's got a lot of good things going for him. Again, he did get injured, had some of those issues. Also, the fact, again, doesn't separate at an elite level, which honestly I don't think he needs to be able to. Still at a good level, though. Caden Wallace, offensive tackle Penn State, probably should start day 1. I mean, I actually like him a lot. The reason I didn't, again, rank him, just the intangibles just straight up aren't there. And his technique is a little bit off. But again, I definitely has the tenacity and the talent to do so. Landon Robinson, I think this might have been the best pick of the entire draft. I really don't know how he lasts until the 4th round. I thought it was going to be, like, again, maybe not, again, a high 2nd round pick, but at the worst, a mid 2nd round pick. And this guy fell into the 4th round. This guy's going to be a stud for the Patriots. I'm just going to call it right here. He might not start, but he will be. Javon Baker out of UCF. Again, he was that big boy receiver. Also broke a lot of tackles as well. Again, I don't know how much his route running is going to be, again, affected going into that, what is called Patriot system. But, again, they just got to get him on yak plays, and he'll be good. Marcellus Dial, I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name, to be honest. Or Dial. I guess that's how you pronounce it. He was a little bit spotty in what is called zone coverage. That's really all I can say about him. I mean, there's nothing to about to that. And they freaking drafted Joe Milton. So, hey, what can I say? Jaheim Bell is also a very underrated pick as well. Again, probably like a 4th round grade on him. So, looking at it overall, this draft, again, has a lot of promise. Some picks aren't great. I mean, like, Marcellus Dial, again, kind of a dud there. Not the worst, though. And, yeah, there are some other questions. But, again, for a team that really, again, is just awful, they did get better, which is, again, what you want to. So, for that reason, I'm going to give them a B. And starting with the AFC North, we do have the Cincinnati Bengals, and their draft was deep for sure. I don't know if it was the most, again, flashy by any means, but again, a lot of good interior dudes for sure. Amari Sims, of course, was their first round pick. This guy, I do think has potential to be an all-pro player. Good thing he'll be sitting his rookie year. So again, in terms of impact as a rookie, not going to be much, if not at all. So we'll see what he can do. But again, Amari Sims, I do like that pick. Again, he could be very good for them. Chris Jenkins, I really do like him a lot. The only issue I have with him is, again, I don't know if he'll be able to provide even the same penetration that TJ Reader did on a somewhat consistent basis. That's not even the same. But as a run stopper, I think, again, he could provide, again, in a different way, the same sort of value. Jermaine Burton, again, he'll get open a lot. Again, they do need a third receiver pretty badly, so the fact they got him is pretty big. I don't know if you want to put him as a Y or a Z. We'll see what they do with him. They might have Jamar play a little more in the slot, but Jermaine Burton, again, the struggles against press coverage are a little bit concerning, but again, as a Z or as a Y, we'll see what they do there again. Actually, receiver this year will definitely be T. Higgins, though. McKinley Jackson, he's actually really nasty. The only issue I have with him is, again, his hands are kind of bricks at times, and that could also be a little bit of an issue. But again, I think him and Christian Jenkins will get a lot of playing time as rookies. Eric All, tight end of Iowa. He's a blocking tight end. I mean, he'll do his job there. Josh Newton, cornerback at TCU. He's not the fastest corner, but again, tracks the ball really well. That's about it, though. I mean, he's not the most fluid either. Tanner McLachlan at our tight end of Arizona. I really like this guy. Again, I actually think he has potential to be a really big downfield threat. But again, we'll see how those hands develop. Cedric Johnson out of Mississippi really doesn't have any sort of, again, speed move at all. Again, his first step is really bad too. But again, they're able to really, again, get a little more burst out of him. Cedric Johnson could be a quality player. Dale and Anthony, again, at this point, you're just throwing a dartboard, basically. Matt Lee, center. Yeah, not that Matt Lee, but yeah, that's about it for this draft. I mean, it's okay. I'm gonna give him, I don't know, B-. I kind of like it, but it could have been better for sure. Now on to the Cleveland Browns, who had a very tiny draft class. I mean, there's really nothing notable to talk about it. Mike Hall Jr., I don't think he's very good. I mean, I do like the pressure he showed. What it's called in terms of, again, consistent on consistent basis for Ohio State last year. But to be completely honest, guys, I don't see it with him. Again, as a run stopper, he's kind of ineffective, and I don't know, again, if some of those pass rush moves he has will really translate well to the league. He's pretty fast, though, so I mean, I guess he'll be okay. Zach Zinter, again, his film was all over the place, but again, you can definitely see the potential. Not a terrible pick for them there. Again, kind of we'll see what he can do in the future type of pick. Jamari Thrash is awful. I really don't like him at all. His routes are ugly to watch. That's all I'll say there. Nathaniel Watson, again, very underrated player for sure. Getting solid cover linebacker, definitely will be valuable for them. I really like this pick. Again, kind of making up for some of these duds to start. Miles Harden is okay out of South Dakota. Again, he was really dominant there, but considering the guys he was playing against, there's really not much we really can talk about him right now. So kind of an unpredictable pick there. And then again, throwing darts here in the 7th round. But I really like Nathaniel Watson pick for the rest of this draft. Not great. I'll have to probably give him a C-, but I like that Nathaniel Watson pick a lot. So it saves it from being a D tier. What is called draft class. Just an FYI for the undrafted guys. I looked through them again. Not really at this point. For the rest of the teams, this kind of sounds crazy. A point to go through. Kind of again. I want you guys to get the grades. So that's what I'm gonna say about that. No, we don't need to go to this. Either way though. Okay, with the rest of this Ravens, what is it called? Draft class, though. This is definitely an interesting group. Nate Wiggins, probably the best pick at the first round, in my opinion. I have him a top 10 player. Give him a pick 30. Huge steal there. Roger Rosengarten, I don't really get why people really liked him. He's definitely a tough dude, but technique-wise, and also, again, when it comes to, again, the just straight-up fundamentals of being able to sustain run blocks, didn't do a great job last year. We'll see again if he can develop there for sure. But again, in terms of that Ravens offense, he's got to get better. Adisa Isaac, again, he'll come in once in a while. Again, just kind of a mess in terms of his moves and his technique as well. But the good news about him is he's athletic and you can develop him. Tez Walker, again, I didn't grade him because, again, I'll be honest, guys, didn't see enough of him. Again, I just didn't really. It's hard to get. I wanted to get to him, but again, a guy again super talented. But yeah, 4th round pick, pretty good there. TJ Tampa. Don't ask me how he felt at the 4th round. Great pick there. Rasheen Ali, okay out of Marshall, breaks tackles, probably be a good guy for them. Devin Leary doesn't fit their scheme, but again, he gets the ball out quick. So again, I think he'll be a pretty good guy for them. Nick Samak, he's okay. Just kind of just irrelevant for Michigan State. Most of those years he was there. And then Sanozo Kane, yeah, that guy got just completely torched by C.J. Stroud that one game. Oh, my God. But outside of that, guys, yeah, this is a really good draft class. I'll give him an A-. I really like what they did here. God damn. Now on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. When you look at their, what is it called, draft class, actually really good value overall. Troy Fautanu, again, he should not have fell this far. Again, we'll see how that size does translate. But outside of that guy, this guy will be super dependable. And I highly doubt there'll be much interior pressure on either Russell Wilson or Justin Fields, whoever the hell ends up starting there. Zach Frazier, also another good guy. Power, run blocker, really fits that mold. Good pick there. Roman Wilson, he'll be a good, what is it called? Robbins, which again, kind of like Roman. I guess, not really. But to, what is, of course, that being George Pickens. Peyton Wilson, again, I was my best linebacker, get him 3rd round. Pretty good for them there. Mason McCormick, okay, I guess. He's just kind of slow. I mean, that's not good for the league. Logan Lee, he can stop the run, which is good. So, I mean, they might use him. They do have what it's called. They already got a counter Ben though, so I don't know for sure. And then what is called Ryan Watts, cornerback out of Texas. He could be pretty valuable for them. Again, it's that maybe dime look there. But overall, pretty good draft class. Short though, so I'll probably give them a B+. But yeah, what they did with their draft class, pretty good outside of maybe Mason McCormick. But yeah, pretty good draft overall. Now on to the Colts, and we look at their draft class. Actually, a pretty good group. Latu Latu, I didn't love there, but I mean at the same point, will provide in the end. He does fit their scheme for sure as a guy, again, a rotational pass rusher. So again, for a rookie, he might get 5 or 6 sacks, which again, out of 1st round pick is not too bad. Adonai Mitchell out of Texas, again here, he'll be a reliable receiver for them for sure. Going along with Josh Downs and what is it called? Michael Pittman Jr. The only issue I have for him is I don't know how much of a deep ball tracker he truly is, which again is what they're going to try to get out of him. Matt Gunn, Calves, I mean, he was pretty bad last year, all things said. He does have some decent potential. We'll see what happens out of that. Tanner Bertolini, probably the 4th best center in this draft class, so decent value there in the 4th round. Anthony Gold, wide receiver at Oregon State. Very good hands, but that's about as further as to go. I mean, he's a pretty slow route runner, and he's just not very fast. We'll see what he can do, though. I mean, I have some expectations for him. Jalen Carley is not going to lie, an afterthought with Dennis Rickshaw Jr. in that secondary. And he also got torched by what is called Loon Bolden there in the spring game last year. Jalen Simpson, he's okay. Again, he's really small, but I mean, he's really fast, which is good to see. But yeah, there are some issues with him for sure. They also underwhelm. But yeah, outside of that, again, these last 2 picks thrown at the dartboard. But overall, again, I think this is a decent draft class. Nothing special, though, kind of mid, so I'll probably give it a C+. This Jags draft class started at the top with Brian Thomas Jr. Again, the wide receiver out of LSU. Yeah, he's pretty talented. I'm not going to lie there. But again, the route running I saw there at LSU was a little bit concerning. Also the fact that, again, some character issues. But again, he should be a pretty talented player for them. The only issue, again, is if he can refine those routes. Because if he can't, Trevor Lawrence is going to have trouble to find him open. And when that does happen, it's going to be, again, the timing will be off a lot. Mason Smith out at LSU, insert him. Don't worry about it for a long time. Should be a good player for them. Probably run an A pick. I like that one for sure. Jerry Jones, going back at Florida State, struggled a lot, and again, those last couple of games. But overall, again, on that defense, he was a big part of it. Yeah, the pass rush helped out a lot too, but he was a pretty good player for them. Javon Foster, okay. I mean, you can make that pick. Jordan Jefferson, you definitely can't make that pick. He was freaking Mason Smith's backup, guys. I mean, what are we doing at this point? Keep going. Keelan Robinson out of Texas, same type of thing. Why are you drafting backups? And then DeAndre Prince, same type of thing. Again, I get you didn't have the greatest picks and where you were, but I mean, after like the 4th pick, this is just a horrible draft class. Like just a bunch of wasted picks here. So they do this a lot. This draft class is going to get a D+. I really don't like it. Houston, again, this is definitely a complicated draft class for them, but overall, pretty good group. I mean, Kamari Lassiter, you can go better with this again. If you didn't know, they did not have a 1st round pick because of the trade up with the Arizona Cardinals out of the 1st round last year to get Will Anderson Jr. But yeah, Kamari Lassiter, I do like a lot. The only, again, you could say that he doesn't have the man intangibles to like actually be like, again, effective there in the league, but I do like him enough where, again, I don't think it's too much of an issue, especially with Derek Stingley Jr. there. Blake Fisher, again, good tackle depth for sure. Not surprised if he would start. Kalen Bullock, 3rd round, kind of a steal here. Really like that one. Cade Stover, there are better tight ends to draft, but at the same point, he does provide that blocking element, which is what they do indeed need. Jamal Hill, kind of a brick as a, what is it called, pass cover guy, but, I mean, at this point, I'm okay with this one. And then they had some, again, Ladarian Henderson, not a bad, Darius Henderson, again, just kind of a plow there. Again, bringing him down in the red zone at times, too. So they're getting value in a lot of different spots. Solomon Bird, I think, will be pretty good pass rush step for sure. And Juwan Jordan could be good. I don't know for sure, but he could be. Yeah, there's a lot of potential for this draft class. It's okay. I'll probably give him a B-. I mean, there's some been worse classes. Definitely a complicated draft to go through, but again, where they had their picks, I think they did do a good job. First off, J.C. Latham, again, I don't love it, but it is a necessary pick here, and I do think he will work out, despite, again, some of those concerns about Evan Neal stuff. Either way, though, Devontae Sweat, yeah, good for them. They have him and Jeffrey Simmons now. Yeah, good luck running the ball on them. Cedric Gray, though, linebacker in North Carolina, should be a solid tackler for them. Again, I don't love him in terms of his, what it's called, projecting as a cover guy, especially in zone. But, again, if he's able to develop there for sure and be a little bit more aware, should be pretty good. Jarvis Brownlee Jr., fantastic for the pick for them there in the fifth round. Has really good, man instincts. Again, just got to be able to make sure, again, he can keep that body under control. Jaquan Jackson, some decent speed, but, definitely didn't get used right. James Williams out of Miami didn't do really anything. I'll be honest, like notable as a senior, but I mean he's okay. And Jalen Harrell, same type of thing, back up there. But overall, again, not the worst draft class. Probably give him again. Probably around a C+. I mean, again, I don't love that first pick. I'm being completely honest, but the next 2 picks were pretty good. So I don't know. Yeah, give him C+. Denver Broncos, yeah, they're going to have a big reach here with Bo Nix, but it is understandable considering they're desperate for a quarterback. Jonah Ellis, not the greatest third-round pick. There were better edge rushers on the board, but again, he does have a pretty good tenacity, and he does have a power game, which I think is valuable for them. Troy Franklin, perfect fit for them as a potential number 2 receiver. Really like that one. Chris Abrams, drain out of Missouri, again, kind of an afterthought, but he did do decent in zone, and also, again, did show guys that he was much better at tracking than he was what it's going to set out to be. Audric Estime, very good backup, could arguably be a starter at one point. This guy's really good. Devon Valet, I mean, he's got decent speed, could be a decent yak threat. Would not be surprised if he got some playing time. And, I mean, they got a center in the 7th round, too. Actually, not the worst draft class. Probably actually going to be, I'm going to be B-. Again, the first 2 picks weren't great, but after that, it got pretty good. So, I'll give him a B-, decent depth in this class. It's really high in the Chargers draft class, and this year, I'm also pretty high. Joe Alt here, going to the Chargers at number 5. Again, perfect pick for them. Yes, they needed a receiver, but they covered it later, so I'm good with it. Ladd McConkey, of course, took it in the 2nd round. He will probably be their best receiver, guys. That's just the simple truth of that. I don't love it, because, again, he'll probably get injured, but just remember, at least have somebody to throw to. Junior Colson, really solid pick at linebacker here. Again, they need that desperately. He and Dan Henley will be a decent combo. Definitely an experience, though. Justin Eberle, again, his 4th round pick, not the worst guy. Again, I don't love him at all. I really don't see much out of him, but at the same point, he did not really suck for Alabama, so I guess that's decent. Sharif still out of Maryland, actually a decent player. I got to watch a lot more of him after the draft, actually, which was actually kind of cool to see. But yeah, definitely not the longest corner by any means. Again, not the greatest awareness, doesn't have the best hands, but when it comes down to actually covering guys, does a pretty good job. Cam Hart, not as much, but I mean he's okay. And then it kind of wedge picks here. But I mean, Brandon Rice, that's a pretty interesting one too. But overall, I actually like this draft class a pretty decent bit. I'll give him a B. Again, pretty good depth, and also again a lot of potential to be a really good class for sure. Draft class, definitely very interesting. They had some interesting picks again. It was an interesting class. Xavier Worthy with their 1st round pick, kind of traded up, got him. I mean, really good value pick for them, obviously, considering what they want to do with their offense. Good speed, obviously. I mean, only ran a 4.21. But after that, they drafted Kingsley Suamatawa. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Akuna Matata, something like that. This dude's actually really good, but yeah, I don't know about this high of a pick. But yeah, that's what happened. Jared Wiley, solid quality backup center there. I mean, tight end there. Jaden Nix, really good pick for them there. I don't know about the rest of this class. Probably backups, special teamers, stuff like that. But top 4 picks of this draft, again, considering they took, again, round by round, basically. Not the worst, considering the value, too. I'll probably give them a B. They did a decent job. The Raiders, definitely, again, another class that I have a lot to talk about. I mean, not too much, but I have a lot to talk about it. Either way, Brock Bowers. I don't like this pick, to be honest. I think Michael Mayer kind of just getting the plug here. Not the greatest for them, considering what they gave up where they drafted him last year. But Brock Bowers, again, he's going to be a really good player for them. They just got to use him right. Jax Powers-Johnson, arguably the biggest steal of the draft. You argue could have been top 20 pick here, so he went at number 44. Really solid steal there. DJ Glaze out of Maryland. I'm not going to glaze him, but he is a pretty good, finesse, pass blocker right there. Demarion Richardson, he's okay. Tommy Eichenberg should be a reliable guy for them. Dylan Lobby, this guy's a freaking beast. Really good pick there. Trey Taylor, again, decent tackler, but that's probably as best I can give him. And then throwing darts here late in the 7th round. But, Jesus. Overall for the Raiders, I actually like the class a lot. Again, 1st round pick wasn't the greatest, but I don't know. I'll probably give my own B+. Actually, a really good draft class if you really think about it. And for the Commanders, their draft, again, pretty good draft overall. Definitely deep a lot. Again, they had a lot of good picks, but this draft definitely could have been a little better. I think if they traded up a couple times, but with the picks they made, really good. First off, Jaden Daniels, they picked the right quarterback here. Don't think Drake May would have been the best fit for them there. Jerzon Newton overall, again, this guy it should be a pretty big steal. Again, we'll see what they do with Jonathan Allen there, but now they have a really deep defensive line there, at least on the interior. Mike Sanders still, fantastic pick there. I'll be honest, I really don't know why I didn't rank him. Again, to get so many corners, but yeah, this guy should be really good. Not as good as, what is it called? What's his name? What's the guy's name? Is it Will Johnson? I don't know. It's Michigan secondary 2024. This would be nice to know. This is just not it. Whatever though. He's not as good as the other guy. I forgot his name. So Will Johnson or something. Whatever. Mike Sanders still is really good. Ben Sinnott, again, I didn't have the biggest thing about him, but Ben Sinnott, again, should be a pretty good blocker for them, at very least. Brandon Coleman, I don't love him. He got beat a lot to the outside, which, again, is not great in the grand scheme of things. Luke McCaffrey, really good pick for them. Probably should be a good player for them. We'll see what happens there. And outside of that, I mean, JJB could be good. And, obviously, Dominic Hampton out of Washington should be also pretty good for them. Overall, really deep draft class. I really like it. I'm actually giving them an A- here. They really showed up in this draft. And the Cowboys draft, many people don't like it, but I actually like it in a couple different ways. First off, Tyler got in here. Yeah, not the best tackle again on the board when they drafted, but again, considering the scheme and what they're going to want to do this year, good pick. Marshawn Newland, honestly, really good pick for them. He's got a lot of tenacity. Could replace DeMarcus Lawrence when he eventually leaves. Cooper Beebe, again, not the greatest, in terms of technique, again, or potential, really, but again, he's a solid guy. He can really move guys around as well. But outside of that, guys, the rest of this draft's kind of, again, a wash, to be completely honest. I just don't think any of these guys will be really impactful in a lot of different ways. So, for that reason, not the best draft, but for sure. But, again, the top 3 picks, I do like a lot. The rest, though, I mean, Kalen Carson's okay, but, well, I guess he's okay. But, overall, again, you got a lot of value in this draft, but at the same point, again, it's kind of a wash, because, I don't know where these guys are going to fit into this team. Martins Liufau, I mean, maybe he could start. I'm not saying he won't, but at the same point, I mean, I'd rather have, what's his name? What is it? It's not DeMarcus Bell. He was a rookie last year. Where is he? Marquise Bell. This dude, third season, whatever. I'd rather have him start than Martins Liufau. Yeah, again, he's a lot bigger than he is, but he can't do anything in coverage, guys. And then Ryan Flournoy, again, really fast. We'll see what he can do there. And then, obviously, more than I think about it, I'll probably give him around a B, because, again, actually not too bad of a draft. And for Philly, looking at their draft, again, they just hit a home run again. They do every year. Quinton Mitchell, how the hell did they get him at 22? I really don't know. Cooper DeJean, how the heck did they get him at 40? Still don't know. They just, again, completely fixed their secondary. Alex Hunt, a lot of potential. Don't expect him to start. Will Shipley, not the worst running back. He'll get you at least 4 yards per carry. Aeneas Smith, Aeneas Smith, I didn't say pronounce it. I didn't watch much of Texas A&M last year, guys. Don't know who this guy is. But, I mean, 5th round, not the end of the world. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., yeah. He's not going to be the greatest. I get that. The potential is not super high, but I think he could be a decent linebacker for them. Trevor Keegan out of Michigan, again, kind of again that afterthought of a guard, but he at least provides some value. Johnny Wilson, again, could be good. Dylan McMahon, center from NC State, really good 6th-round pick as well. This draft, while not perfect, is really good, and for that reason, I'm going to give them an A, because I really do like it a lot. Not an A+, but I'll give them an A. It's hard to get A+s for a draft guide, like really, really hard. And now for Big Blue, the Giants draft, again, while small, was actually pretty darn good. Malik Neighbors, again, they had to get him with 6th pick, guys. They got the best playmaker still available. I'm going to give that pick probably around an A+. Tyler Dubin, it's complicated with him because, again, really good scheme fit, but I don't know if he can succeed for sure. But, yeah, Tyler Dubin, obviously a great pick. Andrew Phillips, 3rd-round pick. They should be good with here. I don't know what you want to do. Maybe you should have him in what's called Trey Hawkins fight for that starting job, but not bad there. For a 4th-round pick here in Theo Johnson, I'm happy they didn't make the mistake earlier, but for, again, a guy who's basically just an athlete playing tight end, not a bad chance there. Tyron Tracy Jr., again, running back depth is really important for this team. Good they got him. Darius Masalu, whatever the guy's name, linebacker to UCLA. Super slow, doesn't tackle super well, but, I mean, he's got some of the instincts, so, I mean, maybe get him on the field, but overall this draft, again, not the greatest, but they got a lot of solid picks. For that reason, I'll give them a B+. Now in Chicago, And with the Bears, again, really small draft class, but it's concise, and they had the best pick in the draft in Romo Dunze. So, yeah, that's good. Of course, they already took Caleb at 1. I mean, this is kind of simple, guys. I'm going to give him probably around an A-. I mean, Torrey Taylor, you never want to see a punter being taken in the 4th round, but he's probably the best punter in the past, 15 years. So, I mean, yeah, okay. Austin Booker should be decent. Kieran Ademide, backup tackle, but Romo Dunze, Caleb Williams, 2 best picks in the draft, guys. I mean, it's first round overall pick, but, I mean, it's kind of hard to mess this up, guys. It's an A-. That's what I'll give them. With the Detroit Lions, small draft class, but they were really good with what they did. First off, Terran Arnold, 24th pick. They got the 2nd best corner, arguably, in this draft. And again, really good player. They needed a guy to really shore up that position. They got their guy. Ennis Rakestraw Jr., another guy that can really help shore it up. If these 2 guys, as well as Brian Branch, continue to really get better, namely these 2, they could have a really good trio in that secondary. Giovanni Manu out of the University of British Columbia. This guy is a Dan Campbell guy, that just through and through. Sione Vaki, I don't love him here. Again, Utah, they didn't really have much of a running game last year, but again, I think he is a good 3rd back when you really look at it. Mekhi Wingo, defensive tackle for LSU, again, another basically backup, but the good thing about him is he has a lot of pass rush potential. And then Christian Magany, who was by far the best player for BC last year. Again, the guard, not a bad pick there. Overall, actually a really good draft class, so I'll actually give him an A-, which again, might be a little high, but I mean, they got a lot of good players from this draft. We got a massive draft class here for the Packers. Holy crap. But with what I saw from most of these guys, it's a good draft class. First off, Jordan Morgan. Yeah, many people don't like this pick. They're giving him an F. But Jordan Morgan, again, might not be the most highest potential guy or the most talented. They need an offensive lineman. Elgton Jenkins can replace him. They need to. More depth for that offensive line. That really hasn't been bad in a long time. Edgerrin Cooper for a 2nd round pick, pretty good. I think this might have a little bit of men of reach for that. I think they actually arguably could have gotten him later. But again, probably the most sure thing out of any of these linebackers. So again, for a position of need, not a bad pick. Javon Bullard, really like this as a safety spot. He's an actual cover guy, which they haven't actually had as a safety for probably, I'm going to say, a good 3 years now, since 2021, of course, with Adrian Amos. But we'll see what they can do there. Marshawn Lloyd, running back for USC. Again, I don't love him. I struggle with this one, but at the same point, he breaks tackles, which again is good, but just the vision isn't great, and we've already seen what happened with Eddie Lacy. Tyrone Hopper doesn't tackle, but I mean, for what you're gonna ask from him, doesn't really matter. Evan Williams will tackle though, and yeah, I like this pick for them again. Those 2, him and Javon Bullard as starting safeties, I think that could be a possibility in the next couple of years. I'm joking. Maybe if they go 3 safety sets, of course, with Xavier McKinney out there though. And outside of that, though, I mean, the rest of these guys kind of are washes. Kalen King's interesting. Michael Pratt's also interesting as a backup. But these 3 picks right here, kind of all Fs. I don't think any of these guys would be very good. I mean, Keanu Debo maybe, but yeah, this draft, again, is a little inconsistent. But as it stands right now, I'll probably give it a C+. It's not like, again, they're just chucking picks. Because, again, they did make some good picks. But overall, I'm going to give them a C+. Minnesota. And with the Vikings, it's definitely a weird class, but again, when all it's said and done, I mean, they got some massive picks in this draft. First off, J.J. McCarthy is quarterback they needed to draft. Yes, I am not high on him at all. I think he will be a bust, but there's really no other way they would have went with this pick. I'm just going to be completely honest. It's what the pick they should have made, so again, I don't think it'll be good, but it's the pick they had to make. That was a bad voice crack. Dallas Turner, of course, at Alabama. There's really nothing bad to say about this pick. Probably, arguably, one of the best in the 1st round. Kyrie Jackson out of Oregon. He's interesting for sure, but, I mean, played for Alabama. Weird career, but he just doesn't do a lot in terms of, again, forcing turnovers, which, again, you'd think, again, the way he plays, that would be his calling card. Juan Roos at Oklahoma, again, he was reliable for us. I mean, not a bad pick there. Will Reichert, again, I don't like kickers, maybe, but I guess that's okay. Michael Juergens, by far the best run block for Wake Forest. So the fact they got him is pretty good. And they won't wash the last pick. But overall, actually a decent draft class. I mean, this is going to turn out to be an F. But outside of that, I mean, again, for what you had going into the draft, it was a pretty good group. So for that reason, I'll probably give you guys a B. Bucs. Wild roller coaster of a draft for them. Graham Barton, 1st pick, that's an A+. Again, I do think that Jackson Powers-Johnson's a better center, but he is not a good fit for the Bucs whatsoever. He will not penetrate well at all for, again, what they want as a run blocker. So Graham Barton, kind of the complete opposite like that. Good pick for them there. Chris Braswell, I don't know if he's worth the 2nd round pick, to be honest, guys. Him and Yaya Diaby could be a good combo, so I'm not too mad about it. But at the same point, I mean, there were better guys on the board. Tyke Smith, very inconsistent on film, and I think that could hurt them in the league. Good thing they have Antoine Winfield Jr. in the secondary, though. Geno McMillan, very good value pick here in the 3rd round. I don't know how much they're going to use him, but I do like the potential there. Bucky Irving, good backup, really good pick there. Elijah Clean out of UTEP, he's okay. And then you got Devin Colbert at the tight end to round it out. Again, the most. The Chris Bradwell pick. I can't get my head around. Tyke Smith, same type of thing, but we'll see. But again, they got a pretty good value later in the draft. So again, overall, for a team that had a pretty decent volume of top picks, wasn't the greatest, but overall, I don't think this was a terrible class for them. I'll probably give them a B-. Yeah, finally time for the Falcons, guys. In this team, I really don't like this draft class, guys. It's pretty bad. First off, I don't care that you're going to have a quarterback for the next 4 years. Kirk Cousins off the injury. Taylor Heineke's a good backup. This just pick it does not mean to be made, guys. This is, again, it's just an F. Ruko Warwar or something like that out of Clemson. Why? He's not this good. Braylon Trice, I do like for a 3rd round pick, but questions about that. Again, Brandon Dorless is freaking better than Ruko Warwar. He is. I mean, flip those picks. Good you got him in the 4th round. Yeah, that's probably their best pick along with Braylon Trice. But again, after that, Jason McClellan, I don't think he was a draftable player. The last 2 picks are just, again, whatever. But, I mean, these 2 picks are okay, but the rest of this draft is just hot trash, guys. I got to give this a D-. It's not an F because, again, these are decent picks, but there have been a lot better draft classes for sure. Holy crap. Falcons, what are you guys doing? 3 straight 7-10 seasons, you finally got something going for you, and you just suck in the draft? I mean, I'm not too surprised. They need a new GM. Now for the Panthers, this is actually a really solid class. They traded down. They got some good assets for next year as well. Again, a 2nd round pick next year. But outside of that, they did a good job for a team that doesn't exactly have the most talent. Xavier Legette, again, could be a number 1 receiver. Doesn't separate the level I think he will need to in the league. But Xavier Legette, really good pick to end the 1st round. Jonathan Brooks, good value at 46. Was a little bit overdrafted, but again, they need a running back, so not too mad there. Trevin Wallace, again, just doesn't have the natural instincts that, again, I think he does. It will just necessary to be a starting linebacker, but we'll see if he can get over that. Tavion Sanders, they needed a tight end. They got him in the 4th round. The rest of these guys, I mean, Jaden Cromartie, Cromartie, I actually think could be a decent player for them. Again, backing up Derek Brown. But, again, this Washington State corner, Michael Barrett, my bad. I don't expect to do too much. But, overall, really solid draft, guys. Again, they fill a lot of different needs. Maybe, again, with the best guys, honestly, in the round. So, for that reason, I'll probably give them actually a B+. I like the holes they filled. Final team in the NFC South, that would be the New Orleans Saints. And we look at their draft, Talisi Fuaga, the first pick they made. Again, I wanted them to take an edge rusher in Dallas Turner, but at the same point, doesn't exactly fit what they're going to want to do this year on the defensive line, but to be honest. But, again, Talisi Fuaga, again, fills a lot of other holes at the same time. So, again, really good pick for them. Kool-Aid McKinstry, they needed another corner. Good pick there. Spencer Rattler for a 5th round pick is very interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets some starting time if Derek Carr continues to suck. I mean, not suck, or choke, but that's more like it. Jalen Ford, good value for the 5th round. Christian Boyd, don't ask me how he fell to the 6th round. This is an A pick. Bub Means, not a good pick at all. But overall, again, there were some bad picks like this one. But outside of that, I mean, every other pick was really good. So, again, the Bum Means pick is really what's keeping it from an A. But I'll give him an A-. I really like this draft class. Now looking at Arizona and their draft class, very interesting for sure. Again, they had a lot of good picks. Marvin Harrison Jr., again, this is the guy they were going to take really all along. I'm happy they didn't really F up here. Darius Robinson, yeah, there are issues people do have with this pick. I don't actually have any issues with it. They needed versatility on that D-line. They got a very good value pick here. Max Mellon, they needed a corner. Very good pick here. Yeah, better corners on the board, yes, but again, they would have got Cooper DeJean, so that would have been really good. Trey Benson, again, I don't love this pick, but I'm not too mad about it. Isaiah Adams, kind of a reach, but he is a good run blocker. Tip Ryman, really good pick. Again, I get he just can't catch anything, but he's such a good blocker, guys. Elijah Jones from BC, arguably their best defender last year. And, I mean, again, kind of a wash for the last couple picks. But, I mean, Jay Davis here for a DB. Again, very good versatility there for Miami. I do like that, again, as the last pick they made. But overall, this is, again, very long and deep draft class. Again, I really do like it. I'm actually going to give them an A-. Yeah, the Darius Robinson pick will hold it back at some points. But, again, really deep class, a lot of really nice picks. I'm going to give them an A-. Now on the Niners, and I mean, guys, this team can't draft, at least from what I've seen. Ricky Pearsall, that's an F. No, he's not that good. Ronaldo Green, actually a really good pick. I don't know about second round, but again, he's a stud. Dominic Pooney, can't block. Isaac Orendo actually could be really good, but outside of that, guys, I mean, this draft kind of sucks. I mean, some okay picks, which is going to prevent him from being an F, but, yeah, I don't really like this class at all. It's going to be a D. I mean, Isaac Orendo and, what is it called, Ronaldo Green are your best picks. Not the greatest. I mean, Malik Mustafa, he's pretty freaking good, but, I don't care. I'm giving him a D. Alright, and looking at the Rams draft class, I do have some issues, but they're not bad. I mean, the Rams did all the stuff they need to. First off, Jared Verse, I'm expecting 10 sacks out of him at least per season. I mean, I'm not expecting him to be like the best, the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like, don't make me think those expectations. But the Rams haven't had a first round pick in 8 years. He's got to be like legit. If he's not legit, or like again, if he's average, I'm gonna be pissed. I'll just be completely honest there. Braden Fisk, not a good pick for the Rams. I mean, again, really, trade here for the Rams. They trade a second round pick next year for him, which again just isn't worth it. But I mean, he should be good. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but again, really athletic, decent hands, not great, but. Again, if he works out, that's going to be a big pick for them. Blake Corum, they needed a backup running back in the worst way, so I get that pick. Cameron Kitchens fits perfectly in our system. Brandon Jackson, he's okay, I guess. Just kind of doesn't know what he's doing. Tyler Davis, again, I actually like him more than Ruka Warrow in some ways. He's obviously not better than he is, but solid pick there. Josh Riccardi, we needed a kicker pretty badly, so I mean, this arguably could be again, outside of Jared Verse and Braden Fisk, this could be the most important pick out of this draft, and arguably even more important than those two. So. I'm really interested to see what he can do. Jordan Whittington, perfect fit for the Rams. Bo Limmer. I like him, but we need a backup center. So, again, really good offensive line depth there. Again, Katie Leviston, he could be good, but, again, for a guy taking that late, we'll see. But at the same time, guys, I actually really like the fit the Rams have this. I'm going to be honest, guys, I'm going to give him an A-. Again, yeah, the Braden Fisk is not the greatest thing to happen in the world, but outside of that, the Rams did a really good job in this draft. And for that reason, again, I'm going to give him an A-. No, I'll give him a B+. Alright, and now looking at Seattle and their draft class, it's complicated. First off, Byron Murphy, that's an A+ pick. I mean, one of the best picks of the first round, guys. Fit their need really well. Again, he isn't, generational or anything, but he makes a lot better plays than people will give him credit for. Yeah, again, not the highest potential, but I really like this pick here. Christian Haynes, third round, he'll kick butt as a guard for them. Tyrese Knight, not the best linebacker on the board there. That's a miss. AJ Barner, he's okay. And then the rest of these, I mean, again, we'll see how they turn out. DJ James could be good, though. But either way, again, I do like the first two picks a lot. The middle kind of gets a little, whatever. But then again, I do, like those Auburn picks for sure. So, for that reason, I'll probably give them around, I don't know, I'll give them a B-. Again, it's not the deepest class by any means, in my opinion, for them. But, again, they made a couple of really good picks. And, again, they filled their identity really well. And that's really what the draft's about, again, when we get into these later rounds. DJ James, again, doesn't always fit that mold. But, again, could replace Tariq Woolen again if he continues to struggle. We'll see, though. That is all I got for the Seattle Seahawks, and that is all I got for you guys in the 2024 NFL Draft. What is it called? Grades. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys stayed around again, that's crazy. You're just nuts. That is all I got for the 2024 NFL Draft class. Team grades, and yeah, I will see you for the schedule release next week, next Friday. I'll be going through it, and again, it's probably my favorite video night of the year because if you didn't know, I'm a freaking fanatic. I love the NFL schedule. So for that reason. Yeah, I'll see you then. But yeah, again, Seahawks, they get, a freaking B-, which again, I think is pretty fair for them. That's all I got for you guys here. Enjoy the next week. Again, I'm going to try to get my freaking leg better. Yeah, that's going to take a while. But until then, NFL schedule's coming out soon. So, yeah, I'll give you a video out when that thing just blows up on the screen. Until then, yeah, see you later.